Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to talk about Bitcoin. Well, what else do we talk about in this channel? And I came across this article, and the article's talking about $1 million Bitcoin. Now, to some of you, that might sound very outrageous. It might sound like, something that's not possible. But to me, or if you've been in the space a while, it's very, very possible. So let me go ahead and open up the article, and we'll talk about why it's possible. So I'll leave the link to this article in the description so you guys can check it out. So why $1 million Bitcoin is coming. If purchases by MicroStrategy and Tesla can send Bitcoin rocketing, what happens when bigger players start entering the markets? Okay, let's go ahead and jump into it. Bitcoin is officially mainstream. By the end of the last mega bull run in 2017, most of the world had heard of Bitcoin, but after Tesla recently purchased $1.5 billion for its corporate treasury, and not for a speculative research and development sleeve, those still thinking Bitcoin was a fad exposed themselves as woefully underinformed. Tesla's purchase underpins something even more dramatic than mainstreaming Bitcoin as a legitimate cash replacement for the world's largest corporate financial and government institutions. These sudden influxes in demand, including a handful of recent bond issuance fueled purchases by MicroStrategy, are having an extreme impact on the Bitcoin price. I believe we'll see the price of Bitcoin above $1 million sooner than most people can fathom. So who's writing this? Who's the author of this article? His name is Nick Bhatia. And it gives a little bit of information about him. Nick Bhatia is the author of Layered Money, From Gold and Dollars to Bitcoin and Central Bank Digital Currencies. He is a CFA charter holder and professor of finance and business economics at the University of Southern California Marshall School of Business. Let's continue with the article. I understand that $50,000 is already slightly discombobulating to the investment community at large, but that Bitcoin price is only associated with $1 trillion of total market value in the world of hundreds of trillions of dollars in global wealth. If Bitcoin's market value reached the size of the U.S. Treasury market, for example, its price would reach $1.5 million. Now, I think that that's something that people don't understand. They don't understand the entirety of some of these markets, and they only know Bitcoin through what they hear or read on CNBC or any of these other mainstream news outlets. You guys have to do your research. Okay, I've been involved in the space since 2016, so you can imagine, all the ups and downs that I've seen through my 6 years of being in the markets. But imagine people that have been in since 2009. I'm sure they've probably have predicted a lot of the things that are happening today, like BNY Mellon coming into this place, BlackRock, JP Morgan. They get it. They understand it. If you guys want or need a little bit more insight on my opinion as far as, why the banks and these large institutions were holding off for so long, I do have a Bitcoin documentary on the channel. It is called, what is it called? The Biggest Short. Okay, that's what it's called. I almost forgot. It's called The Biggest Short. It's a short little, Bitcoin documentary. If you guys haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's on the channel. Okay, let's go ahead and let's continue with the. I can't believe I forgot about that documentary. The name. Okay. It's easy to predict a $1 million Bitcoin given a long enough time horizon, considering the pace of crypto adoption across industries and the willingness of governments and central banks to provide unlimited amounts of fiscal and monetary stimulus. But when faced with the math of how much $3.5 billion in Bitcoin demand, Tesla with $1.5 billion and MicroStrategy with $2 billion, caused its price to move, the approximations led me to some staggering numbers. Keep in mind that this exercise is far from scientific. The price of Bitcoin has basically tripled since MicroStrategy's first publicly announced debt issuance in December, while the company has been purchasing Bitcoin since August. It accelerated its buy program then by raising capital via the corporate bond market, aiming to bolster its Bitcoin treasury holdings. MicroStrategy US dollar bond issuance has become a regulatory ever since, so they're doing that regularly. Quantifying exactly how much of the price explosion since December was caused directly by Michael Saylor or Elon Musk is impossible, but it's fun to guess. So nobody really knows if these large purchases drove the price up. During the weeks that Saylor and Musk purchased at least $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, its price increased by several $1,000s. We know that the entire price move during those weeks cannot be solely attributed to these technology giants. But after some rough calculations and a hefty discount, I believe that a $1 billion Bitcoin purchase resulted in at least a $25 billion increase in its total market value, or about $1,300 increase per Bitcoin. I'm saying that the $3.5 billion total purchase by MicroStrategy and Tesla over the past 3 months directly increased the Bitcoin price by $5,000 of the $30,000 total increase over that time. Maybe the actual contribution is more or less than that, but that's the guess with which I'll extrapolate. Bitcoin's powerful role in today's society as a non-government counterfeit party, first layer of money, is apparent and markedly pronounced in 2021. Okay, here he just goes and he talks about his book. Let's say, okay, let's go here. Let's say that out of the $100 trillion worth of wealth in each of the following vehicles, investment vehicles, real estate, public security, stocks and bonds, and monetary instruments, which are government debt, bank deposits, money marketing funds, Bitcoin manages to eke out a meagerly $1 trillion in new demand. Using a 25 times multiplier given our estimations from MicroStrategy and Tesla, this would equate to a $25 trillion increase in market value, or a $1.3 million in Bitcoin. I know this type of extrapolation is grandiose and extremely crude, but it doesn't make the information any less dramatic. Bitcoin's price is a landmine. A $3.5 billion purchase triggered an explosion of $30,000. Imagine what a $10 million purchase from Apple would unleash. So I am one to agree that if another juggernaut comes into the market like Apple and they made a huge purchase, let's say they even started talking about Apple or even entertaining the idea of using Bitcoin or any of the related technologies on its own platform, you would see an influx of buyers coming into the markets. Imagine the chain reaction from a $100 billion purchase by the Bank of Japan in a new quantitative easing program. Then finally imagine the world coming to Bitcoin in a wave of FOMO, the fear of missing out. The financial world has never seen before a Bitcoin total market cap will be above $20 trillion, equating to a price above $1 million per Bitcoin. No longer seems extreme, right? Doesn't seem so extreme. So the gold market sits at about $7 or $8 trillion, right? You take all the gold in the world, about $7 or $8 trillion. Not right now, but if maybe a month ago, or maybe less than that, maybe last week actually, the volatility is crazy in the markets these days. As far as the Bitcoin's own market cap was sitting at over $1 trillion. So you can see, it's not impossible. I've been in the market for 6 years, like I said before, and I've seen the market go down, the total market cap for all crypto go down to 100 billion, right? So anything's possible. Do I think it's going to go down that low? Again, no. There's too many juggernauts in the game now. Okay, so let's knock out the rest of this article. Bitcoin's price ascent will surprise most people who haven't fully grasped the supply and elasticity of Bitcoin. No increase in price can lead to a supply response because Bitcoin's supply is pre-programmed and universally agreed upon. Governments, banks, and companies can issue as many crypto competitors as they desire, but the Bitcoin land grab is gaining the characteristics of the demand for prime real estate in the world's most beautiful buildings and scenic coastlines, for the rarest art and jewels, and for precious metal itself. So everybody wants a piece of the pie. It's demanded as an inflation hedge in Latin America, a path to economic empowerment in Africa, and as a peaceful protest of QE infinity in the West. It has its own instant settlement mechanism and Lightning Network, and most important, Bitcoin is decentralized. Some people might argue that. There's nobody to subpoena or central server to seize if governments tried to bring the network to a halt. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyways, I just thought it was a great article to bring to you guys' attention. I'll put the link to this article so you guys can check it out for yourself in the description. Please like and subscribe, guys, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.